All right. Welcome back, everyone. I hope I'm audible. Now, let's continue the journey of OAuth and the JWT. Okay. Whatever this content I'm teaching, this topic will also be available in the recorded format, just in case if you want a more understanding on the same. First of all, to start with, the concept of OAuth comes into picture whenever you want to do the authentication by getting the information from the third party server. In the Telesco also, can you perform the login by using the Google server, which is Gmail credentials, Google account? The answer is yes, you can do that. And that is possible because of the OAuth. And that is what I would like to demonstrate in the first thing. And then we shall see on the JWT before we conclude the discussion here. Fine. Now, coming to the OAuth here, very simple. Any one resource I'll develop, for which you may have to add some dependency also. I would like to go back to my browser. I'll go to Spring Initializer. Let me just refresh it. Maven, it's a Java project. Com dot, okay, I'll say a Telescope. The project name I'll give it as OAuth demo application. And dependency, to create a resource, I'll create a web dependency just to create any REST resource. And we have something called as OAuth2 client. OAuth2 client, click that. And let me just generate one project. The project will be generated. Okay. And then I'll go back to my downloads. I'll take that project from there. And in the D drive, we have aliens. Let me add this project here. I'll say right click, extract all. I would like to extract it. The project is extracted. And go back here. I'll say right click. Let me just delete after extracting. Done. I would like to just go back here, import the project. I would like to import existing Maven project. I'll say next, browse the project. And it's OAuth. All right. Oh, fine. The project is imported here. One resource, any resource I'll create, one simple resource. It could be anything. Whether you are connecting database, getting the details from the database, that's a different part. I would like to just go back. Where is this OAuth? Yes, we do have here. And of course, I'll go back here and say build path, configure build path. I'll say here. Okay, I'll say finish. I'll say apply. I'll say apply and close. It's done. As you can see, we have two dependencies here. And I would like to go and create one package here wherein I can create my REST resources. I'll say here dot rest. I'll say here dot rest. Within this, I would like to go and create a new class, whatever class it could be. Maybe I'll say here Telescope controller, any one resource. Okay. And of course, as already everyone knows here, I will say a REST controller, no difference. Go back here. I'll say public normally. A response entity, a string type of response, or directly normal response only directly you can do, not a problem. Get, I'll say course information. And I would like to just say here string type of result equals to one message I would like to add. Maybe I'll say here Telesco is launching detailed Java Spring microservices course. That's the meaning of it. And as you all know, I will say a return new response entity. And within this, what type of data? String type of data. And I would like to just give here the result, comma, HTTP status dot OK. I would like to go and say here, get mapping. And here I will say get info, get course. Any endpoint is fine. All right, guys, one simple resource is there. This resource coming from the database or directly you have written, it's up to you. One resource we have here and nothing apart from that. If you open the pom.xml, guys, please observe here. If I open the pom.xml, OAuth2 is there and web is there. Separate, like the way in the last example, Spring security dependency I have not added. And I would like to just go back to my application.properties and I would like to just say here, server.port equals to maybe 8484. I would like to just save this. Go back here and deploy my application. I'll say right click, run as the Java application. The moment I'm deploying my application is deployed, I'll go back to my browser. 8484 is the port number, okay? And what is the resource endpoint? The resource endpoint here is get course. I would like to go back to my browser and 8484, it's 8484 slash get course is the endpoint. Guys, are you getting this form again? First of all, did I added anything form in my code manually? No. Did I added the Spring security dependency? No. I have added the OAuth dependency. For OAuth also, are you getting the same behavior as the Spring security one? I hope you are able to observe here, everyone in the class. Now, I know what this behavior here, for which I'll go back to my code. I have to disturb the same class, security filter chain. The chain which is responsible, the class which is, the object which is responsible for this default implementation. I'll go back here and create one package. I'll say new, create one package. Name of the package, I'll give it as configuration. And inside this package, I'll create a class. Maybe I'll say here security configuration class, where we are doing configuration related to Spring security. I would like to go back here at the top of the class. I would like to say here configuration. I have import. And as you all already know that we have to use here enable web security. Done. Same old story, guys. We have to disturb a class. Name of the class object is security filter chain. I'll say security filter chain. Type maybe reference of the object. I'll give it as filter chain. And I have to get hold of HTTP security. HTTP security. Type HTTP is the reference. I would like to take it. And at the top, I would like to say here bean. Done. And now I'll say here return HTTP dot build the default security filter chain. Now it will, the form all will be gone. And of course, checked exception guys there. Let me handle. Apart from that, I will say HTTP dot authorize request, authorize HTTP request. Whatever is the reference variable, this much big is not needed. Auth is a reference variable. It's there, but directly did I added the Spring security dependency or did I added the OAuth here? Please here. At the time of project creation, what did I added, Arul? If I have to go back here and see here, did I added the separate Spring security dependency like the way we had it in the last example? Did we added this? I was referring that we have not added this. Even if you add the OAuth2 client, some of the Spring security feature will also be there, is what I'm trying to say. Because we have not added this dependency, still we are getting that form. That means Spring security, some configurations will be there even if you add OAuth2 client dependency. This is what I have added. Only OAuth2 I have added. If I have to go back here, OAuth2 see, this is what I have added. These are the two dependencies which I have added. See, OAuth2 client, web. But even though you have added OAuth2 it is giving you the default Spring security configurations also, is what I'm trying to say. That's the reason I ran the example first itself and I showed you the form. I will say here auth dot any request. Yes, yes. They are there even if you don't add, I mean, even if you add the other dependencies for everything, the test will be added. I'll say dot authenticated, dot authenticated. I'll say dot, very important now. After authenticated, I have to say here OAuth authenticated. Okay, let me close this. Authenticated is over. I'll say dot OAuth. O authorization. See here, most of them are deprecated. You have to go with OAuth to login, not the client. You have to go with login. At the time of login, I want to implement OAuth. That's the meaning of it. And here I would like to specify the implementation using the customizer. I'll say customizer dot with the defaults. Done. Now guys, based on which one you'd like to go with, whether you want to go with Google, GitHub, Instagram, Facebook, you have to decide which third-party authentication you have to allow for my application. I would like to go with the Gmail and I would like to go with the GitHub. And Gmail and GitHub I would like to go, and that too guys, Gmail and Google account and GitHub will not give you every information. For the authentication purpose, they'll just give you basic information. Using the information of their server, you can authenticate your end user. Okay. For which you have to, maybe if you want to go with the Google, go to the browser, just search Google Cloud Console. Google Cloud Console. You will get something called as Google Cloud Platform. Google Cloud Platform, click there. There we have an option here to go with APIs and services. For the first time when you go, no, you please click on OAuth consent screen. Some some steps are there. You just authenticate. After which you can just go with credentials directly. I'll go with credentials. For other batches, I have created the applications, guys. I would like to create new credentials. New credentials. There is something called as OAuth client ID. I would like to click this. Application type, Android. What application? I would like to go. It is a web application. Name of the application, example, I'll give it as sample web app is the name I have given here. Sample web application is the name. Add the authorized redirect URIs. I have to give my application here. I will say this is the 8484 is where no, we have deployed our application. Yes, I'll go with this login. Okay. Automatically it should log in. I would like to say here create. The moment I create it, I'll be getting client ID and client secret. I would like to copy, or if not, directly you have to add in the application.properties. You have to add this, guys. This client ID and secret ID you have to add in the application.properties. Okay. We have to go to application.properties now. I'll be writing some keywords. These keywords you can get it from the official documents also. All the application.properties, key value pairs you cannot recall. You'll be getting it. Spring dot security dot OAuth2 dot client dot registration dot Google dot client ID equals to Spring dot security dot OAuth2 dot client dot registration dot Google dot client ID is what I have told here, equals to, I'll go back here and I'll copy the client ID from here. I'll copy, I'll come back to my application. I will just paste it. After which I would like to take the same, add it once again, but it is not client ID right now. It is client secret, equals to, I would like to go back again here where I have created the app. Client secret is there. I would like to copy and get back to my application. I will add it here. After the class is over, I will just change this, guys. I don't want some security concerns. Now I would like to just run my application. I'll say right click, run as the Java Spring Boot application. After I run the application, I'll go back to the browser. Okay, I'll go back here. What is the resource name, guys? Resource name is what? Resource name is get course, no? Get course. Yeah, that's the resource name. Guys, are you all getting the option of here? Access block. This app's request is invalid. Why? It should allow. Okay. I'm getting, guys, login with OAuth 2.0. I'm getting the option of Google. I'll click the option of Google. Aha. It is invalid, it seems, because I have not authenticated there. So if not, the username or this is wrong. I'll go back here. Sample web app, right? Let me just do one thing. Maybe these keys are correct. Spellings of this key: spring dot security dot OAuth 2 dot client dot registration dot Google dot client hyphen ID. Is it correct? Dot registration dot Google dot client secret. We are not deploying there. We are deploying normally. We are just going with the OAuth, Binzilla. We are not going for deployment. We are enabling third party authentication. Have you not come across with the application wherein you can log in with the help of Google account, with the help of Facebook account? Same thing we are trying to achieve here. We have to register application with the Google account, which we have done it, and it will give you an account. Maybe I'll do one thing. I'll go back with this sample web app. Okay. And I would like to just do one thing. Okay. Let me edit this. Guys, this URL is wrong. That's the reason. I have given URL till here. I have to give the URL till here. That's the reason it is not blocking me. I would like to go back to my other application. I think today is 15th December, right? This is what we have seen. I would like to edit this, and this URI, I would like to paste it here. After this, I would like to add this. After login, this. Now I would like to say save. After I saved, now I would like to just access it. Okay. I would like to go back. I would like to say here, access the get resource. No. HTTP colon 8484, right? 8484 slash get course. If I hit the enter key, I'm getting the option to choose my Google account. I will choose my Google account. I will say continue. Now, is it able to do the Google authentication, guys? Gmail authentication. See, I'm able to access the resource after my Gmail login. I have not given. Did I added any username or password, guys? Did I added any username or password? No, right? Are you all there? Yes, no, maybe. Any confusion here, guys? Have you not done like this before in any of the applications in your real time, that you got logged into the any of the applications directly by Google? Sign in with Google option. Same thing I've done here also. To access this resource, I have just chosen to sign in with Google. It gave me an option to choose the Google account. I have chosen one. That's it. Same I want to do it with one more. Okay. Let's do one more also. I want to go with the GitHub also. I want to go with the GitHub. So let me also add the GitHub also. Okay. Let me just go back here. Of course, the key will be different there. You cannot have a same key. It is for Google, not for the GitHub. Key will be different. And of course, it is not Google this time. The client ID is from where, guys? Client ID is from the GitHub. Yes. Yes. I will say here GitHub. And now I'll go to my GitHub account, which I've created only for this purpose. GitHub login. Let me just log into my GitHub, guys. Once you're logged into your GitHub account, guys, once you have logged into your GitHub account, go to the settings. First, go to the settings. Once you get into the settings, you'll have an option called as developer settings. Developer settings. Click on developer settings. OAuth applications. Directly you're getting this option OAuth application. Create new OAuth application. Application name. Whatever application name you want, you can give it. I'll say maybe Telescope. Telescope web app. This is the basic URL you have to specify. And this is a detailed one you have to specify. OAuth 8484 because I'm deploying the application here. Login OAuth code GitHub. I will say register my application here. I have registered my application. I have got the client ID. I will copy the client ID from here. I have copied the client ID. I'll go back to my application, guys. Of course, I may have to stop this. I will add the client ID here. Client ID has been added. Now, secret key I have to add. I'll go back here. Generate a new secret client. Arey yaar. See the client ID also I'm getting it. Secret key. I'll copy from here. Go back to my application. I will add the secret key here. I would like to save this. After saving, I'll deploy my application. I'll say right click, run as, deploy the application. After which I'll go back to my browser, guys, this time. And I want to access my resource. Okay, the resource is get course. If I access now, am I getting the option, guys? Login with GitHub. The UI frontend people will give it in proper format, but it's a raw I'm getting because I have not done any frontend here. GitHub or Google? I'll go with Google. Getting the option. Logged in. See, I'm getting the resource. You have both the options now to log in. See, GitHub and Google. Everyone in the class? Yes, no, maybe. So this is the concept of OAuth, guys, and you can do a lot of customization in the OAuth. If someone is deploying, you see, as a developer, will you do everything about development, creation of APIs, business logic, and the security part also? The answer is no. For only to implement the Spring security, the one who's expert in the OAuth, in the token-based authentication authorization, they will be implemented. Their duty is only to take care of this. So lot more things you can customize even in the OAuth also. You can even learn the OAuth for the entire 8 days. It is that much depth concept. I have just given you the demonstration of it. Directly I have used some of the keys. I have showed you how I could able to authenticate using the third-party servers. And we could able to access the resources using the third-party servers without any problem. But is OAuth restricted to only this much? The answer is no. With respect to Spring Boot development for the third-party server authentication, this is sufficient. But the game is bigger than this, is what I'm trying to say. Now, the same project I would like to take, which we have taken, guys, earlier. What is the name of the project we have given? Security app 2, right? I'll go back. I would like to say security app number 3. Security application number 3. Yes, same old story, same I would like to go with, same configuration file I have opened. Models are also same. This is also same. User controller is also same. And the service layers are also same. No change. Now, what is it I want to achieve is, for the first time, if someone sees, I will be giving, assume that there are totally 10 resources in the backend. Totally how many resources are there? 10 resources are there. Okay. Everyone. Out of 10, the 2 resources are about the registration, registering the new user, and about the login. That user is trying to log in. 8 resources, I would like to provide the security that everyone and anyone cannot access. It is secure. I have implemented the security. 2 resources, I will enable everyone to access. Great. Someone will register, they could able to register, they can log in. After they could able to log in, I will generate one token, JSON web token I will generate. I will generate this token by adding the user information, user's name I will add one signature key, one secret properly secured token I will generate, and after logged in, the client of me will get the token. Now, in order to access the other 8 resources, they need not to give the username and password. The credentials are not needed. They have to give the token. I will collect the token and then I will verify the token. I will verify this JWT verification. From the JWT verification, I will get the name. From this token, I will fetch the name. I will fetch at what time this token is issued at, whether it is expired or not. All this information I will fetch. I will authenticate that it is a valid user. If it is authenticated, then other resources they can access. We will not be storing any token anywhere, Arul. It will be dynamic. The client will be getting it. I would like to go here. And I will just say here maybe JWT.io. We have an organization called JWT.io, guys. It is third party one. It is not there with the Spring Boot. JWT is there. No, JSON web token. It is not specific to Spring Boot application. Okay. This is there for every other stack and every other languages also, not only for Java or Spring Boot, nothing as such. See, guys, are you able to see token? Our token will be something like this. Token will have all this information, algorithm which is being used, and then payload. Payload means it will have subject. Subject means name, username, and issued at. You can also give the expiry if you want. I'll go back here, next line. I will say here expiry. Of course, I will say comma expiry. I will say here whatever this value is there. No, one extra I'll give. One extra or something I'll give here. Maybe I'll say here 6. It is expiry. See, it is issued at 2018. It will expire in 2021. This is a payload. In the payload, you should not add the other important messages, guys. See, 2 things we are doing right now in our backend application. One, we will write the code which will generate the token. Second, we will write the code which will verify the token. So at the time of token generation, all this information is needed. We may have to add which algorithm we are going to use. We may have to add the payload. What and all information. I would like to ask the name, which is the subject, what issued at, expiry, and in this payload for which you are generating the token, right? Don't add something very critical. Yeah, similar. See, token based there are multiple ways you can generate the token based authentication. JWT is one of that, which is more popular. Okay, and then I'm doing I'm writing the signature also, guys. I'm giving one secret key. This key is adding one extra authentication, extra signature. Example, if you're going to any cafe, very often you're going to visit there, and you thought, let's buy the subscription, let's buy the pass, so that every time if I visit, I need not to give the money. I will just show my pass. I can take whatever I want. And in that pass, you're adding some information. Apart from extra information, for the better authentication in that pass, you're also adding the signed signature, or you can say QR code, which will verify that it is a genuine pass. Extra level of security in that pass. Same thing goes with the token also. With the signature, extra level of things are there, and the token will be generated. And to access any of the other resources, my end user has to pass this token. And as a developer, you have to write a code which can fetch this token. And from this token, you should write the code which will extract username. Extract whether it is expired or not. Extract the signature. It will verify whether it was the right token which I had only generated. All this verification we have to do. So 2 types of code we have to write. One is generating the token. One more is verifying the token. Done, my dear friends? Everyone in the class? All of you. I would like to just go back to my application, guys. And here, I would like to add one extra endpoint first of all, which is about the login. Okay. Let me go to user controller. In the user controller, I will add one more endpoint. And here it is not registration, it is login. Okay. It is login. I'm taking this register, no login user. Login the user. Login the user. And return type for now, I will give it as a string type of return type. All this is not required, and right now I'll not be doing anything, guys. Okay, I will just verify if it is authenticated. If you want to authenticate, then you should get hold of authentication object, guys. If you want to authenticate for the login purpose, you have to get hold of authentication object. So what I'm going to do here is, I will say here, I'm going to create the in the Spring security configuration only. I'll go at the security configuration and I will create one authentication object. I will say here public authentication manager object. Okay. I'll say here authentication for the login authentication, automatic login authentication, authentication manager type authentication manager. And now I would like to get to hold of authentication configuration, authentication configuration type config. I would like to import this. Now I'll say return config authentication config dot get authentication manager. One object I'm generating, that's it here. One authentication object I'm generating. And this object I will hand over to Spring. How to hand over to Spring framework? I'll say here, please take care. Now guys, the return type of this method is authentication manager object that I have given to Spring IOC container. Great. Now I'll go back to my user controller. And here at the top, I will create one auto wiring. I will say here private, give me authentication manager, authentication manager type, authentication manager. Okay, give me that. Now, who will give me this? I will say Spring, please give me one object of authentication manager. Spring has it. How Spring has it? Because I only have given to Spring. I have given to my Spring authentication manager object, and Spring has the authentication manager object which Spring will inject here. So I got the hold of authentication manager right now. Now I'll go back here and say authentication manager, the reference variable. I'll say dot authenticate the username and password automatically. I will say here, I need not write some extra code also. I will just say here new username password authentication. It's a predefined class authentication token. And within this, I have to pass how I will take this user. Please authenticate this. It will really take care. I need not to do anything there. User dot get the username and again comma. Okay, let me get it here. Okay, I will say user dot get password. This user and password is entered by user, guys, end user of our application. The client is entering this. From there, I'm fetching and I'm handing over to this object who will take care of authentication automatically. You need not to put some extra efforts. It will give you an authentication object. I will get hold of the authentication object. I'll say authentication object. I would get hold of this. I would like to go here and say create a variable. And now I would like to just check if in case authentication object, is it authenticated? Dot is authenticated. If it is yes, right now, just to start the journey with, I will just give one message here. Uh, login success. Else I would like to return. Invalid Credentials. Credentials. I would like to save this and deploy this application, guys. Deploy this application. Yes, Arul. Yes, it will authenticate against the database only. I'll go back to my Postman tool, my dear friends. I'll try to access this get courses and I would like to go with this credentials. If I try to log in, guys, I'm getting the message here, this. And first of all, I'll go to the post request, add the new user. I would like to add a new user here. Maybe the new user here is, I would like to go with Rohan. I'll say here, Rohan, Telesco 454. Guys, no auth I'm giving here. No auth I'm giving. I'll go back here. See, guys, Rohan. And right now, if you look at the code, my dear friends, if you look at the code, how many resources anyone and everyone can access? If I have to go back to the code, only one resource, right? I want my login also to be accessed by everyone. So I'll go back here and say login. Why? Because to log in also, for login form also, I don't want anyone to. I would like to redeploy the application. This class is getting created. Arul, see here. This predefined class will take care of it. You need not to worry on this. You should just get hold of authentication object using the authenticated manager. I have authenticated and asked one predefined class. And to this predefined class, whatever my end user is entering, right, that details I have given. And this object, a predefined object, will take care of authentication. As a developer, you need not to write some separate code for it. Understood? Look at the name of the predefined class. Username, password, authentication. This is not my class. It is a predefined class. Inside this class, whatever my end user is passing, that information I have to give. By getting hold of authentication manager object. I got hold of authentication manager object. I have told please authenticate username and password, and whatever my end user is entering, that username and password I have passed here. It will authenticate automatically. Forget about others. Why confusing here? Since we're writing the same code, it's a wrong assumption. Forget about this. Whatever we have written, why are you bothering about this? Just tell me one thing. Out of all resources earlier, answer me one thing, the flow, guys. Don't try to overthink on this. Answer me one thing. Last example, I had written the configuration where anyone can register without authentication. Yes or no? Apart from this particular resource, guys, other resources you have to authenticate. Correct? Binzilla. That is the object which you have to use. That is a predefined object. That is a configuration. I cannot do anything. That's how I have to do the configuration. I have to use that. It's not my own class. Okay. See, guys, development, it's sometimes like all these configurations are there. No, especially the third party things. That's where the headache for developers comes into picture. Not on regularly writing a service layer or creating the POJOs or creating the REST API endpoints. All these things is not a major issue. So I have told now, likewise, add user for login also, there is no need of authentication. Anyone can access login resource also without authentication. Correct? Now, my end user will try to reach out to this controller, this endpoint. My end user will enter username and password, which I will collect here. Any issue still here? After my end user is entering the username and password here, I want to collect and authenticate whether it is a valid username or password. For which, as a developer of Spring Boot, do you need to put some extra efforts? The answer is no. Just get hold of authentication manager object. I have got hold of authentication manager object. Inside this, we have a method called as authenticate, and there is a predefined class called as username password authentication token. In this predefined class, pass the username and password. I have passed. And this particular object will take care of authentication. You need not to do something extra in the configuration file. It will only take care of it. Now I would like to go back here and logged in. Now I'll also go back to my Postman tool. Add user. No, this time I'll go with the login, guys. I'll go with the login. Okay. I'll go with login. Login and see no auth. Because this resource I have told, don't ask any credentials for this resource. If I have to go back here, if I hit this enter key, guys, I'm getting login success. But as I have told, if someone logs in, they should get the message or they should get the JWT, JSON Web Token. Should they get the message or should they get the token, guys? Token they should get. All of you? Yes, no, maybe? Everyone? Now I'll go back to my code. I will stop this. I will not be writing this token. What you want? I will say here JWT service dot generate token. Hey, where is this method? This method is not there. No, what is that JWT service? I will create a class, guys. I will create a class. Inside this class, from this end user, I will collect the name. I will say here user dot get name. That name also I'm passing to generate the token. That means in the token creation, as I have already shown you guys, see guys, many things are required. Key is required, signature, name, issued at, expiry, or whatever extra payload you want, you can add, but I will keep it limited. All this information is needed to generate the token, right? So what I'm going to do here is, I have collected the username from the end user. I am passing to this method which is responsible to generate me a token. And that token I will collect and store in a variable called as string type of JWT. And that token I would like to return to the caller JWT. I have saved it. But where is this? I'll go back here and I will create one. I'll go back here and create one reference at the top. I will just go and create one reference variable here on this name. Name of the reference variable I'll give it as maybe JWT token service. Is it a predefined class? No, it is not a predefined class. I will create that class. Inside this class, I will write a code which is responsible to generate the code. I will say here auto wide. Okay. But where is this class? I will create, have patience. I'll go back here. I'll say here, do one thing. Here only there is an option. Create a class. I'll create this class. I'll create this class not inside the rest. I'll create this class inside the service. Okay. Maybe service. Inside the service layer. Service only, no. Yeah. I'll create this class. The class is created. And now inside this class, I will create this method where I will write the code to generate the token. I'll create the method inside this class. It is there here. All good, my dear friends, everyone? Yes, no, maybe? I'll go here. I will say this is my business logic to generate a token. I will write the logic to generate the token here. Now to generate the token, many ways are there. Lot of things I have to add. Now don't worry on the code which I am adding to generate the code. Just understand the purpose. The purpose of this entire class is to generate the token. Okay. Now first I will create the claims. Claims means all the information. Issued at, expiry, username, subject, all these things I will add inside the claims. I'll say here map, string type of object. I'll say here claims. Claims means all the information, guys. Payload which I'm going to add. New hash map is the implementation. And let me go back and import this. And now I'll say here return. Now directly I'll not return. I'll say JWTS. It's a predefined class. If I say dot, am I getting anything, guys? Am I getting any option? No. As I have told you earlier also, is JWT part of Spring or it is a third party, guys? Third party token or it's a part of Spring? It's a third party. I have to add some dependencies. From the Maven repository, you can get the dependencies, or else I have already kept the dependency which I would like to add it. Okay. Let me add all the dependencies which are related to this. Because it is not there in the Spring. In the Spring initializer also, you will not get the dependency. You will not get the dependency in the Spring initializer also. I'll go back to the pom.xml and I will add these dependencies. Which are those dependencies? These are the dependencies. See here, JWT IO.json web token API is there, implementation is there. This is optional, guys. Some problem once I had got, not every time. So I just, for safer side, I'm adding this. I would like to save this. And after saving this, I'll go to my Maven. I'll say here update. Any problem? Huh? No, right? Control Shift F. Control Shift F. And Control Shift. Okay. All right. I would like to just go back here, right click, and I'll say here Maven. There's a Maven option. Okay. I'll say right click, Maven, update the project. I'll say update. The dependencies will be added. All the required dependencies have been added. Of course, I'll go back here, build a path. I'll say configure the build a path. I'll say this. I'll say edit. I'll say alternate JRFT. I'll say okay. I'll say finish. I'll say finish. I would like to save this. Now, guys, I'll go back in my JWT service token. Now, see, I'll get the option of import. Earlier, I did not get the option. Now, I'm getting the option of import. See, it is coming from JSON web token family. I will say here. Are you all there? I'll say here dot builder dot set claims. I will add this all claims. I'll say dot set subject. Set maybe subject. The subject is the username I'll give. In the payload, only username I'm adding, nothing apart from that. I will say a dot set issued at the date. I'll add that to new date object from the util package. I'll say system dot current millisecond. I'll give current my system time. Current system dot current time millis is the issued at, and the expiry I'll say dot set. Okay. Get from the util, not from the SQL. I'll say a dot set expiry, token expiry. I'll do one thing. Expiry means same time plus some extra time I will add. Okay. I'll do one thing here. I'll add the same time first of all. Immediately it will expire if I give only this much. Plus I will add some extra time. Some extra time I will add. Okay. So that it will remain active for longer time. Dot I will say. I'll say dot sign with. One key also will add. One signature I will add. I'll say SI. No, it's not giving me. Let me close fully. I think it is closure of this. Yeah, I have to close this now. Dot sign with. I'll say sign with. One key I will add. I will add some key. I will write a method to generate the key. Get key method I will write, which is not there. And I will say here signature algorithm dot h2 hs. I'll say a dot hs 256. Okay, great. I'll say a dot compact hs 256 only. No. Yep. I will write a method. I'll create a method for this. Method is created. I will say dot compact. Done. All right, guys, please look at this. Same thing I was doing. This is the signature HS 256. I am just also want to add the key. I have added the name, guys. Subject I have added. Issue date I have added. Expiry I have added. And I'm also adding the signature. Okay, to generate the token. All these things should be there in the token. So only I'm adding all these things. That means I'm writing a Java code which can generate the token. Now to generate the key, lot of code is required. To generate the key also multiple ways are there, guys. I'll do one thing. I will use the code which is there to generate the key, secret key. Okay. So much of code is there. Let me open one file, guys. Allow me a minute of time. Right click, go here, Spring Security. This. Right click, open with Excel, open with this. Yes. Whatever code I'm writing here, guys, this code is responsible to generate that key, generate that signature. Okay. The two imports must be proper. If not, it will be a problem. If you don't import the right things from right place, it will be a problematic. Okay, that is fine. And this also, I will take it, which is responsible for this. What is this code? So much of complex. I do agree on this. But this is always remember one-time setup just to generate the key, secret key. This and this I am generating. Based on this algorithm, one signature key I am adding here. One signature which will give authentication. Kind of such a token you are giving to, such a pass you are giving to a client, which is signed one with high level of security. Okay. I have given that. It will generate the token and same method. Of course, some problem is there here. Yeah. Same method will be invoked inside the controller. If you check here, guys, I'm invoking the same. Why this unnecessary? It is resolved. No. It is resolved. I'm invoking the method, passing the username. I'm collecting the username here, guys. I'm collecting the username here and creating a key. This is responsible. This code is responsible to generate the particular token, JWT token. This is the code which is generating. For the signature key which we have here, whatever signature verified key is there, no, this is there. For this purpose only, I have implemented the remaining code. Okay. I would like to save now. Go back to my user controller. I'm invoking properly. I'm storing here and that I'm giving it. Now, if I have to go back and deploy my application, I hope token will be generated. Lot of code is there. If something goes wrong, then full day we have to sit just to check what went wrong. I would like to go back to my Postman tool, guys. To log in, there is no authorization. Okay. I'll go back to the body. I'm providing this. If I click on login, guys, am I able to get this token? Yes, no, maybe. I'm getting this token. If I add the token here, see, I'm getting Rohan. Algorithm HS256. I'm getting the signature also. Rohan is my name, no? Issued at what time it is issued, guys? 15th December 2024, 2:58. Expiry 17 December, it will be expired. The token will be valid for 2 days. And I think based on the token, I could able to get the decode all the information also. Okay. Everyone in the class, yes, no? Now this part is somewhat okay. Token is generated. Now to access any other resource, guys, any other resource, this resource I want to access, not authentication. You have to go to bearer token and this token you have to enter here. And based on this token, if I hit, I'm not getting the authentication. Why? I have not written the code in the backend which can accept the token and which can verify the token, whether it is a valid user or not. So the first part of the code which we have planned for the day, we have done it. Token is generated. Token is generated. Token generation is okay. Now the next code is token verification. Token verification. If my end user is entering the token, are you able to verify the token? Getting it? A lot of predefined code. But why what you are writing, if it is there, sufficient? Now, I would like to go back. All of you are there, guys. Complete silence. Yes, no. The last part of the discussion of this entire batch. I mean, of course, we do have a microservices classes where many more things to be discussed, but still coming to the security part. Control flow, any issues to anyone? No, right? I know where the issue is. The issue most of you might be facing is not because of this also. Okay, you have could able to relate this information. Oh, payload should be there, algorithm should be there, signature should be there, and that is what I'm adding. You might be seeing that to generate this key, signature, this much of code you are writing. Yes. Just to get that signature. Don't think on the predefined classes names. It is not from here. All of them are coming from the family of JSON web token. It is a third party things. Third party classes names and all. You as a developer need not to break your head. This code is responsible. It's responsible. Fine, no? Guys, it is not the API which you have created that easily you can understand. Proper naming you have done it. Proper documentation you have done it. It is a third party token based authentication I'm doing here. Okay, now. Now, what is the next part? The next part is I have to do the verification, for which I'll go to my Spring security configuration and I will say here, look, what? I will say here, stateless is there. I will not stop by making the application only stateless. I will remove this semicolon. I'll say dot what? Add filters. Add the filter before. Which filter? JWT filter for the verification. Every time a request is made to any resource other than registration and login. Every time a request is made to any resource other than registration and login, I want to verify the token. I can't compromise my resources. And I will go here. I will forward the request to one more filter after token verification, which is username, password, authentication, filter dot class. Now, where is the JWT? I will create it. I will create the field of this and I will create a separate class JWT. I have not yet created. Inside the class, I will write the logic to verify the token. Okay. I will say here auto void. But where is this class? I will create it. I will create a new class, new JWT class. Inside this class, I will write the code which is responsible to filtration purpose. Okay, I'll go here and say component because I'm doing the auto wiring there. It has to be with the Spring IOC container. And I have to just implement or extend one class called as once per request. Once per request means for every request, this filter has to be there. If for every request, if this filter is getting implemented, that means for every resource, must and should my end user has to pass the token. Without token, they cannot access any of the resources. Because I'm implementing the filter verification for every request. Once per every request. I would like to once per request filter. It's a predefined class. I would like to import this filter. And it will ask me to add some methods, guys. I'll add the unimplemented methods. Okay. Great. I would like to go back here. Yep. Now, guys, as all of you know, at the time of token generation, guys, do you all agree that I have also added the username in the token? Did I add it or not? I have added, right? In the token, username is there or not there? It is there. So first of all, I'll get hold of the request object. I'll get hold of the request object. I will say request dot get the header. I'll say get the header. Which header information I need, I have to specify here. I will say get the header of authorization. Get the header of authorization. I would like to go back here and say auth header, which is of what type? String type. Create from this header. From this header, I will just check if in case, whatever authorization header is there, no. Authorization header is there, no. If it is not null, that means something is there. If it is not null, and auth header dot starts with I'll say only B or maybe bearer. What do you mean by this? Wait, I'll tell you. I'll go back to my Postman tool, guys. I'm passing this token inside bearer token. So before the token, this bearer space, the 7 characters also will pass. So only token is not passing, guys. In that header, the header is starting from bearer space followed by the token. So I'm just checking whatever token is there, if it is starting with a bearer or not. You can give only B also, no problem. Bearer space. Is it starting from there? If it is not empty and if it is starting from there, then what I'm going to do here is I'll say auth header dot substring. Substring, and I will get starting 7 characters. I will delete. Starting 7 characters means all these 6 characters plus 1 space I will remove. And I will fetch the actual token. Actual token means, you can see, guys, token will travel from the client to the end user. This token, alongside the token, it will start with bearer comma space. Bearer means totally 6 words, 6 characters. 6 characters followed by 1 space, 7 characters. So if I say only this much, that get authentic, or if I don't say substring, then in that token bearer also will be there and space also will be there. Bearer and space, I want it to get deleted, and I want only token. I will store that token here. I will say here token. I will create the token. Let me just create the token at the class level. Not here. I'll go and create here equals to null, and then I will just add it here like this. All fine. Guys, every line I'm speaking. Why I have done substring? Any confusion to anyone? Why I have done substring? Any confusion to anyone? Yes, no, maybe. Because it will travel token and the starting bearer also will be there. Okay. After which I will collect the name from the token. I will say name equals to null. Okay. I'll go back here and say auth header, not auth header. I'll do one thing. I'll get hold of this object. Okay. I'll get hold of this token service. I'll go back to my JDL filter. I will say here private type of token service and I'll say here auto wide great, and I will go back here. Guys, please see very carefully. I will say here token service class dot. I will write one method there, extract username. Right now there is no method. I will write the method and I will pass this token to this method. Inside this method, the logic must be there. Which is responsible to extract the name from this token. Because inside the token, name is also there, signature is also there, issued at is also there, expiry is also there. 4 informations are there inside the name, inside the token. Out of 4 information, I want to extract the username. So I will create one method. I know there is no method there. I'll go back and create a method inside this class. Here I will write the logic which is responsible to extract the name from the token. After extracting the name from the token, it will given back to this. I will collect it here. I will say here string type of name. I have already created name. So guys, whatever name I have here, please tell me one thing, guys. Okay, I'll go back to token service. Oh, wide I have given here. Rather, I will just say here string. Okay. Great. My dear friends, this name which is there with me, from where it is coming? Is it coming from the token or coming from the database? From where it is coming, guys? Token, right? I have taken from the token. All of you agree on this? Now I will check if in case inside this, if it is not null, that means I could able to successfully fetch the name. Suppose if the token is invalid, will you get the name object here, guys? Will you get the name object? You will not get, and it will be a null, right? If it is not null, means I could able to fetch the name from the token and token is valid. That's the meaning of it. Okay. And I will say here, and I will also check if authentication object is already created or not. If it is created, why we have to create? If it is not created, I have to create a new. I will say here security context holder dot get context dot get authentication is equal to null. That means it is not yet created. The object is not yet created, authentication object. Now, guys, where is the method inside this one? We are using the load user by fetching the user, correct? So I'll get hold of this object, because, guys, this method is responsible to fetch the user information from the database. All of you agree? Inside this method only, I have written the logic which is responsible to fetch the information from the database. So only I'll go here and auto wire. Lot of code of configuration is there, and that's where JWT comes into picture. I'll say here private, but I hope steps, if you are listening to me, at least that you are understanding. Type here, I'll say user service. I'll say auto add, and I will take this reference, guys. I'll take this reference. I'll go back here. I will say here service dot load username, and this name I would like to pass. And whatever name I'm passing here, guys, I'm fetching from where? From the token. And I'm checking by this name in the database, is there any details or not? I'm checking that. That information I'll collect it here. I'll say user details, because that's the return type of it. Okay. Now, after if it is there in the database, I will say here token service, token service dot validate token. I have not written any method to validate the token, guys. I will pass the token which I am fetching from the double layer of authentication from the end user, and whatever details I could able to fetch from the database based on the name of a token, I would like to pass here, so that it can take this information and validate the token. Okay. Return type, I would like to collect it as boolean type. I'll say boolean type of status. If the status is true, I will generate the authentication object. If the status is true, I will generate the authentication object saying that you can authenticate, the user is valid. That's the meaning. After which I will pass to the next filter, for which I'll get hold of do filter chain. I have added one more filter. No, I want to forward the request to that filter. I have added one more filter. I want to forward, after this filter, I want to forward the request here. Okay. So I would like to go back here and say closure of this. I'll say dot do filter and request and response I'm for. Okay, great. Now validate token, there is no method. I'll create the method there. I have written the method. Now, guys, here is where I have to write the token code which will verify the token. Lot of code is we have to write inside that. Okay. Let me get that code, guys, which is responsible to do this, because I cannot recall all these methods. It's a one-time setup. I'll give a walkthrough about it. Okay. Let me just add this. Importing must be done from the right place. If you have not imported things from the right place, it will be a problem. Okay, done. Okay. I'll go back here. First thing is, please see the control flow, guys. I'm fetching the header. From the header, I'm fetching the token. That token I'm passing to a method whose responsibility is to accept the token and extract the name from the token and give back to you. Till here, any issues? Anyone has any issues till here? All of you are there with me? Yes, no, maybe? Allow me a minute, guys. No issue, no. Now, no, I was away. I was just getting my tablets at 3:20. I have to take some tablets. So I was just getting from my bag. Huh. See, guys, I will go to this method now. I'll go to this method which is available inside this token service. Extract method. Huh. Inside this method, the logic is responsible. I have taken this logic and passed to this method, extract claims, whose responsibility is to extract the name from the token. After extracting the name from the token, I will get the name, which I will go back here. I got the name. And if I am getting the name, I will verify. It's not empty means the token is valid. I could able to fetch the name. I am checking by this name, is there anyone from the database? If it is there, I got his details. That details which I am coming from the database, I will pass, and token I will pass and ask this method to validate the token once again. Now inside this, I have written a logic to validate the token. This method is responsible to validate the token. I am taking the token, I am taking the user details. I am extracting the token name here. I got the name and I'm passing this here. Whether the date is expired or not. Is the token expired or not? I have used some of the methods to check if the token is correct or not. Is it expired or not? And if the username is correct or not. Both the things I have verified here. And this information I gave back here. I got it. If the status is true, I got true. That means token is valid. Since the status is true here, I can just go ahead and write a code which is responsible to create one authentication object. I'm trying to say that authenticate that user, allow him to access the resource he want because he has entered the right token. I have to write the code here for that. Okay. Let me write the code here, which will create an authentication object that authenticate that user because whatever token he had entered, the token is valid. Since it is a valid, if it is true, token is validated. I have created one authentication object. That means I have given consent to my Spring application. Authenticate him. He can access the resource. Authentication object is ready now. I would like to save this. So much of code. I'm pretty sure if something goes wrong here, it will take 2 days to even rectify where I might have gone wrong. I'll go back here. My fingers are crossed. I'll deploy my application. Oh my goodness. I'll go back to my Postman tool, guys. I will first register. Okay. I will add the user. I will say add the user. I have added the user. Added the user. Okay. Great. And new user I will add, guys, whose name is Rohit. Password is, I'll say 444. Okay, guys. New user is added successfully. Oh, unauthorized. Why? Oh, no, nothing else. For everything, I'm not generating the token. Okay, let me log in, guys, with the existing details. Oh, sorry, 8484. No, here it is 8080 only. 8080 only. Let me log in, guys. Let me log in. Go to the body. And Rohan. Rohan was the name, right? 454 was the password. 454 was the password. I would like to log in. Unauthorized. Oh, there is an issue. There is an issue. Some codings. The code that all will remain as it is. That will not be affected because See here in the configuration, I have what I have told here. Disable the CSRF token. I've told for this users anyone can access. I've added the JWT filter and username. That's it. Okay. And this is fine. Where is the issue? Let me just check. Oh, starts with auth header is null. Why null? I think I'm not doing for everything. Few resources everyone can access. Okay. I'll go back here. Is it like somewhere my code is that it is for everything? No, right? Okay. I have to generate the token for the first resource. Why it is taking this? OAuth we have not taken here. No. DAO for the authentication. Authenticating the end user. How we are going, Binzilla? See, this token is there for the login or token is there for the remaining resources access. Binzilla. This token you have to pass for the login or remaining resources access. Remaining resources access, right? Huh? Somewhere this is right. And I'll go back to my controllers. Login is the controller. It should generate this. I would like to just deploy my application, right click, run as the Java application. I think I have added here that for these resources, you should not give any credentials. My application deployed in 8080, no context path. Okay. I'll go to my Postman tool. I'm not passing this. I'll say here add the user. Add user. And I'm adding a new user, Rohit. Okay. No auth, guys. Body. I will send this. Unauthorized, it is telling. That means it is expecting me to give token for everything. Are you getting it? It is expecting me to pass the token for everything. That means whatever token filtration I have done, no. The token filtration is getting added for all the resources. Are you able to understand what has gone wrong here? But I don't want this token to be there for everything. It is getting added for everything. Now I have to do the lot of debugging. Here is where I'll go back to my. I think this is correct only. Add a filter before. I'm adding the filter before only. JWT filter, which I have only coded. Username, password authentication filter. Later they have to take care of this. I'm building this. I'll go back to JWT filter, guys. And once per request filter I have added. That's correct. Okay. And let me open this filter. Get the authentication. See, the error which we are getting here is very simple. It starts with string because authentication order is null. That means this code somewhere I've done the gimmick. But guys, allow me a minute. I will just take my tablet. Just 1 minute of time, okay? Why the filter is getting implemented to everything is what I have to see here, because the filtration comes into picture only for the resources which is other than the login and the registration. But this filter is like asking me for this even for the registration and login. Like where is this? Where is the token it is asking me to give? But token is only not generated. How can you give that? Cannot invoke starts with. Mm, oh, sorry, guys. Sorry. It is Java issue, core Java issue. No, nothing. It will work fine now. I know what was the mistake. Okay, leave. Guys, it is able to register, guys. Rohit 444, right? I'll go and log in now. It was core Java issue, guys. A very simple, silly mistake. It was not the other mistake. One silly mistake I had done in the code. It's a normal basic Java issue. Okay. Not the configuration issues. Don't worry. Guys, for the login, I'm entering the username and password. I'm getting the token. I got the token here. Okay, token generation is successful. Now to access the other resources, I'll go here and enter the token. I'm entering the token, guys. Bearer token I'm entering. Here is where finger cross. I hope it should work. Token is verified. What was the issue which I was getting the error is it is a normal basic Java issue. I had written one and here. Okay, not the this two. That's it. One silly mistake. I hope you could understand what level of errors it can give. Yeah. So it is able to authenticate the token also, guys. I can understand lot of code here. You just have to understand the flow. If you could able to understand the flow, you will not be facing the issues. And always remember, configurations are one time setup and it takes time. So what we have done here is, we have generated the token. We have written the code which can generate the token, generate JSON web token. Second part, we had verified the JSON web token to authorize the resource. Authentication and authorization we have done using the JSON web token. That's it. Okay. And this part of JWT, I'll also upload the videos which are there from the Navin sir. Same topic he had explained in the video also, so that you can get the double layer of explanation on the same topic. It is somewhat totally tough, Binzila. And let me just summarize and give a walkthrough, guys. Everyone, all of you are there. Let's walk through the code. First thing, guys, if someone want to enter this endpoint and someone want to enter this endpoint, they need not to provide the credentials. Yes or no? They need not to provide the credentials. All of you agree on this? Everyone in the class? Apart from Arul and Bizila, I hope others are also there. Or maybe you have just kept the Zoom on and went somewhere out. After this, guys, if someone logs in successfully, I have authenticated them and I'm generating the token. In the token, I'm passing the username also. If I have to go to the token service here, I am just generating one token here. In that token, I'm adding the name also, issued at time, expiry time, and key. Token will be generated. Now my end user will enter the token to access the other resources. And I have told here in my Spring security configuration that for every resource, please add this filter. That means to give authority to any of the resource, you have to authenticate the user by JWT filtration. So I have gone here in the JWT filter. and I have just extracted the header first of all. From the header, I could able to extract the what? I could able to extract the entire token here. After extracting the token, I have passed the token to this method and told, hey, look, from this token, you extract the name and give back to me. Now, this method has done the task of extracting the name from the token and give it back to the caller of this method. And I went back, I took the name, and I've checked inside this, really something is there. That means token is valid. And if the authentication is not yet created, I have gone to the database, applied the name, and this name which I'm entering here, it is coming from the token, and I've extracted the information from the database. Now this information, to validate the token, I'm giving to the token method, validate token method, and I've passed the token and asked this method to just verify if the token is correct or not. Inside this method, logic is written, which is present inside this class to validate the token. These two methods are being used here to validate the token. It will validate the token that it is correct. If it is validating, it will give back true or false to you. I will correct here. If the token is valid, I will authenticate. If the token is valid, I'll say here, yes, you can access the resources. Now that particular end user can access any of the resources. This is called as token-based authentication. Okay. A lot of code, guys. Configurations is something where always a lot of code will be there. Where here is where, you have to show some patience, especially based on the third party, parts which you are working on. They will have their own classes, own names of the classes, methods names. And that's where you have to just understand what is the flow. If I do this part of the code, what I will get. If you could able to understand that what is the purpose of this entire, unit of a code, then it is more than sufficient. DAO what we are using. No, that we are not using for the other resources, Binzila. We are doing that for the initial login, that's it. DAO we are using only here. Only here. The remaining authentication is being done not using the DAO authentication. The remaining authentication is being done using the token. Binzila, just answer me one thing. To log in, am I entering any token here? Am I entering some token to log in? That means I'm just entering this. So based on the username and password, also some authentication has to happen, right? Or for that, what code is being written? What code is there? DAO authentication comes there only, no? I hope you are getting this. All done, dear friends? Yes, no, maybe. So this is about JWT, and this is about the token-based authentication. Our team will also upload the videos on JWT on your dashboard, which you can also see. Tomorrow morning, guys, Indian time 7 a.m. onwards, we are going to start the concept of Spring Security from absolute scratch. All right. Yes, yes, yes. That's all. Nothing more than that. Okay. No, we are security is done, guys. We could able to complete all the major topics which I had given to you within the 8 possible days of our classes. From absolute scratch, we have covered entire ecosystem of development with the Spring framework, which you could able to understand all the major concepts. Tomorrow, early morning onwards, I'm going to start the concept of microservices. Redis server and Kafka, I will cover under the umbrella of microservices only. Okay, now? It is in the morning 7 a.m. You'll be getting the link. You can join from the dashboard also. Okay. And also that recording, if you cannot attend those classes, that recordings will be available in your course dashboard. You need not worry. The class will not be this lengthy. The class will be for 1 hour to 1.5 hours. It is early morning batch, guys. 1 hour to 1.5 hours is the class timing, class duration. So quickly it will end. So even if you watch the recorded videos, it will not create any issues. Okay. So also apart from that, two links I would like to give you, and I'll give you one more link of major project, guys. One more project. But for now, these two links I will attach in your code documents, from where you can get some, projects. Okay. I would like to just go back here. Let me just see if this is the right links. Yeah. These two links will have a project, guys. Use these links and get access to this project. This also I will be adding you in the resource section of today's class. Okay. And one more project in the microservices journey I will share with you. All right. Let me just add this resource also. I will say here action, export, security board work. That's all, guys. Thank you so much for this wonderful 8 days of short journey with me. Thank you so much for being with me throughout this short journey from the starting till the last. A few more things to be learned in the upcoming classes. Thank you so much, guys, for your support, for your cooperation, for your energy, and for listening to me. As a human, for some of the things I may have not stood with your expectations, as sorry, as I'm also a human being. No, we'll try to do the best in the upcoming journeys which we might come across together. I had a limited time, my hands were also closed, and within that I had to convey so many things, and I tried my best to deliver what I could do with the time I had. And I hope you could able to now get entire ecosystem. If someone says that backend development with the Spring Boot, at least I hope all of you have a complete big picture of what happens, all the modules, how the development works here, how to handle up to exceptions, securities, AOP means what, RESTful services, how to create, all the layers, layered approach development, and how life will be easy with data JPA. All of that you have understood. It is more than sufficient. Okay. Thank you again, guys. Thank you so much. If you want, you can attend from tomorrow. If not, that recordings also will be available in your course dashboard. Thank you, everyone. This project's files will be attached alongside this video very soon, within few hours. Okay. Thank you, every one of you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, every one of you. Thank you all. Thank you.